Good morning. I'm Tech Sergeant Horner, and today I'm going to be going over a team project I was part of and how I was able to use leadership skills and the team performance concept to accomplish a task. At the time, I was the NCOIC of our squadron's commander support staff, and one of our responsibilities was to maintain what we called a comm out binder. Not sure if other career fields have anything like this, or if this is just another one of those things that security forces does to be extra. Basically, this binder is supposed to be used during recalls if communications go out and we're not able to make phone calls to get a hold of our people. We just get somebody and we're going to send them out to make face-to-face contact with people. So this comm out binder is basically just a big map, a big book full of maps to everybody's house. This particular week, we had a big bad hurricane heading our way. So the commander had a meeting with all of the section heads. As he was going around, telling them what he needed from them and asking what they needed from him, he got to me and asked Sergeant Horner, "Where's that comm out binder?" Well, at this time I'd been in the office for about 4 months, and I had never once touched that binder. But I did know where it was, and I did know I had it, so I told him that I had it downstairs in my cabinet. Then he told me that it needed to make sure that it was good and needed to get to the operations officer by the end of the next day so that they could go open the emergency operations center before the storm hit. This is when that first panic of the PEP cycle hit me. I had no idea what kind of state that book was in. But after the meeting, we got back downstairs and I got to my airman. And I told them that we needed to go through this book and that we had less than 2 days to do it. At this time, our squadron had about 220 people in it, and I don't think the binder had been fully updated probably since it was built. So, there have been countless people PCS in and PCS out, moves around base, from on base, off base. We knew it was going to be a mess and it was going to take a lot of work. At the time, it was just the 3 of us in the office. It was myself as the NCOIC and 2 relatively young airmen. So there wasn't a whole lot of diversity in there, and it wasn't much for experience beyond what I had. But we had been working together for a few months, so I did know their strengths and weaknesses, and we worked really good together and communicated pretty well together. The creator for this project was more of a task or an order from the commander to get it done. But once we had that, we were able to take off pretty good. One of my airmen was clearly an advancer. She was a good talker. She communicated well. Once I started telling her what needed to be done, she was already coming up with ideas and plans on how to get it done. So it was great having her, and she definitely helped move me up into that elation phase of the PEP cycle. The only problem with us in that elation phase was we ended up not having much of a Z process because we pretty much skipped over the refiner and it was pretty much non-existent in this project. The plan was pretty basic and straightforward, and we had less than 2 days to get this done, so we didn't really have time to really go through the plan and find all the flaws in it. We figured when the issues came up, we just take care of them along the way. My second airman, he was clearly the executor. He needed and worked much better when he had a plan and instructions for him to follow. Plus, he also got a little bit of anxiety if he was talking to or calling people he didn't really know. So we gave him the plan and what he needed to do, and we just let him sit to the back and get the work done, which he did really well at. Along with being the project lead and doing what most leaders I feel would do, I filled in as the flexor on this one. The office still had some daily tasks that needed to get done, so I'll try to take care of those so the airmen could work on this particular project. And as much as I could, I would help the airmen with the project. If they needed me to send emails or I'd pull various rosters from different systems, being the NCOIC, I was also the one to call the other section heads and various flight chiefs to get them going and get them moving to get us the stuff we needed so that we could get this binder up to the leadership within our deadline. Project was going good. I was still riding that elation high. And then my operations officer and first sergeant walked into the office. They came in wanting to know an update on this binder. So I told them where we were at. I have it to them by the end of the day. And they politely reminded me when they needed it and to get it done. And then that final panic hit me. I started to doubt, wasn't sure if we were going to get it done or not. But we ended up getting it done. It was a long, busy couple of days, but we got it done. We got it to the leadership, and they were able to go open up the EOC and get ready for that storm to come in. I gave my airmen the best good job that I could and thanked them for helping me get through it and getting it up to the leadership so that we could stay on their good side. But there really wasn't much time beyond a simple thanks, good job guys, because by myself I didn't keep up with all the daily tasks, so we still had to get a lot of those knocked out. Plus with the hurricane coming in, we had additional tasks in getting the office and help getting the squadron ready. So it was right back to the grind. I'm sure we all have examples of teams and leadership that went into running these teams. This was just one of the examples that I have that shows how knowing airmen and knowing the roles that are needed allowed me to make this short deadline. Hopefully this can provide some insight or ideas for the next time any of you have to lead a team.